Afternoon, Alan. How are you? All right?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Uh, Um, Alan, what are the last 12 days been like since the Scotland game?
Obviously, disappointed after the result. We sort of moved on pretty quickly. Obviously, that was the full stop, if you like, for the Six Nations and preparation for the Nations Cup and the autumn. Almost as usual, what it would be like without the six games. But obviously disappointed, but we've had a good training week. Looking forward to this one tomorrow.
Yeah, how has the mood been in the camp amongst the players this week?
Obviously, we're still very conscious. Performance needs to go up again, and that's been the focus. It's been a job of work and focus on the clear points that I mentioned post match against Scotland. To obviously in preparation for tomorrow.
Alan, the defence coach has departed, just captain. What was your view of that, and how have the players reacted?
We're all grateful to have worked with Byron and his contribution to the squad and to the environment. But obviously, I think you've already spoken to Wayne, and the decision was made by Wayne to make a change. Everything's under constant review, whether you're a player or a coach. And like I say, that decision was made, and we have to carry on. But we're all very grateful to have had the opportunity to work with Byron and wish him the best for the future.
Has there been any upheaval because of that?
Upheaval in regards of?
Well, losing a coaching member and having one less there in the defence.
Yeah, well, obviously we had Gethin that was in, and obviously Wayne has probably put his efforts into D a little bit more. And obviously there's a lot of intellectual property within the coaching staff that you probably wouldn't say their names a lot of in the analysis department. So that load has been shared, if you like, to pick up any shortfall that potentially may be seen.
How much onus on the players this week, Alan? You've lost 5 in a row, got a new competition. How much onus on the players is to lift up performance levels after the end of the Six Nations?
I think it's always on the players as a coaching unit. What we carry onto the field, it's always on us. So I don't think that changes. I think we're aware of the external perceptions probably we have at the minute. But like I say, we won't deviate from getting the performance and making the performance improve to get us up.
The external thing is what you mentioned there, people saying a bit of unrest in the camp and things like that. Just as somebody who's within the camp and integral to it, what is the mood there like? I
think unrest is something that could be quite provocative for people, like you say, outside the camp. It's still a job of work for us. We're focused and very clear on what we need to do, and we'll stick to that.
And a new tournament in the Autumn Nations Cup. Strange going to Dublin to play Ireland in November. Yeah,
it's different. It's a different landscape, but like we've said, we won't say any more about the obvious state things at the minute. But it's what the game needs to get going, and it's the different things you look back in your career and say, remember when, I suppose. But just very fortunate to be able to get into a new competition.
And just with Wayne, Alan, you'll know that it's always the coach who sort of gets the exposure when you get a few defeats. How much are the players behind in him, and how much you've got to try and get a victory this weekend to perhaps ease the pressure?
I think there's always those who'll get people in the sights. But as a play group, we won't shy away from the pressure. I've done this a few times and been in this position a couple of times before. And the margins are finite, and they will be tomorrow. But we're very clear in what our approach is and the effort and the plan we have to go into the game to put it right.
And the final one for me, a milestone. George North will win his 100th cap if he comes off the bench tomorrow. Alan, he could be the youngest person in history to do that. Just a word on a milestone for a player like that who came on the scene at 18.
I think Luke was telling me, I think tomorrow is 10 years today, his first cap. So it's a pretty special feat in the game that is rugby union. So hopefully get on and do that on a good performance, like I say.
Thank you, Alan.
Hey, Alun Wyn, Beth, all right?
Hi there.
Hey, the last win Wales had in Dublin was 2015. Do you think maybe no crowd will help your case on tomorrow night?
I don't know about that. I think the longer these games go on without crowds and the match day environment, I think the more players miss it. I certainly do. So I don't know about that, but obviously our focus is going to be what happens between the whitewash and, not necessarily the lack of volume. So, we've got to deal with it ourselves.
Obviously, you've been around for, we know how many caps and years now with Wales, but in terms of kind of your experience within the camp, has this been kind of the hardest period for you? Where does that lie? Because it's not great hearing the Welsh public and, journalists talk like they do because you're so used to positive press. But how do you look at that?
Oh, to be honest, I don't know what they've been saying. So my focus is the work and the job at hand. And like I say, there's always foundations to anything of value, and probably that's where we find ourselves at the minute.
Last question for me. In the press and blinking social media, people are quite surprised that players may have an opinion on their coaching staff. But as at the end of the day, the results lie with you on the pitch. So, is that just part and parcel of elite sport?
Interesting question, but I think ultimately responsibility is shared. But obviously, like I said earlier in the very first question, as a player, given the tools to go out there and do a job, and we'll do that to the best of our ability with the tools and preparation we're given. And when we win together. When we lose together as well. So, there's an answer in there somewhere.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Hi, Alan. The margin of victory and defeat in the last few has been quite close. Do you feel like you're really close to things clicking, or does it feel a bit further away at the moment? What's your sense of it, having been part of those?
It's funny, without being too profound, sometimes the closer you get, the further away it feels. But, like I said, we're very clear, as I said after the Scottish game, about things we need to shore up to get the performance. And as I said then, margins on these games at this level are finite. It's funny, there were probably times that in the Scottish game we probably tried too hard and gave away too many penalties, but sometimes easier to take a little 2% off the effort than it is to add it in. So it's probably been a bit smarter and as hard, but at the right times with the performance. So we've got a bit of a yin to the yang, if you like, to get that right, but we're clear in what we need to do.
Historically, in these situations, you and your team have gone out and made us all look like idiots. So should we expect a pretty fiery performance from you guys, a bit of a reaction tomorrow night?
Well, from a personal point of view, I'd like to think we should have shown that already. So this is a new competition. So in a way, it's a start, like I said, but we're definitely clear on what we need to shore up. So there'll be a reaction, definitely in the performance, I'd like to think.
Just another one on a milestone, and Johnny Sexton is another one who's playing a 100th international. What's he like as a competitor and someone you've played with and against for a long time?
Oh, he's your stereotypical 10. The conductor of the orchestra, if you like, and they usually putting people in the right place at the right time and pulling the strings, as Biggs does for us. So hopefully he won't have a necessarily great day, but obviously he's another icon of Irish sport.
Thank you.
Alan, you've touched on it a little bit there, but obviously results haven't been going your way at the moment. Do you embrace that pressure as the players group in the squad, or do you try and park it and sort of ignore it completely?
No, I don't think you ever embrace losing. I think that's not what we're in the sport for. But I think above all, we've shown character and effort in all the performances that we've put out thus far. And as I said, I don't really apologise for repeating my previous answers, but we're in a new competition. We have a good training weekend, and there's an opportunity to go out there and put a performance right and push for the result. Because from our side of things, obviously there's a lot more than just one sentence or one word that can be said about what we put into these games, and that's what we'll try to avoid and keep doing what we do.
You talked way back after the England game about finding that balance between saying that you want to play a particular way, but ultimately getting results. Where do you feel you are in that journey, and how have you found that sort of struggle between trying to play a certain way, but ultimately trying to get wins as well?
Yeah, well, probably there in that first game, particularly in the French game, we probably didn't do that. We probably picked off picked up just where we left off in that English game. I'm not going to use the break as an excuse, because that's too easy and that's too, too invisible to be able to hide behind. But I think in credit to Wayne, he has a vision how he wants us to play, and we'll continue to do that. And that, if we're still searching for that balance, then that's the case. But like I said, I'm still proud of the effort and the application that we have, and the fine margins are, like I say, very fine. And we haven't been far away, but like I say, it feels a lot farther when you do come so close.
And just finally from myself, what are the things that you have to do right tomorrow in order to come out on the right side of the result? Well,
particularly going off the Scottish game, like I said, is contact area. I thought we were better in patches, but we were probably a bit overzealous at times. The conditions are looking better tomorrow, so we'll probably have an opportunity to have a ball for a bit longer, and when we do have it, use it. And as you said in your start of your question, that find that balance and keep building, and that sort of mantra.
Thanks, Al.
Hi, Alan, it's Alex here. Just one question from me. I mean, Ireland away is a game that the team have struggled to get results in the past. What is it about the Irish in Dublin that makes it such a tough test? And is this the perfect challenge as a result to try and prove a point?
Yeah, I think so. I think facing the Irish teams I have out here in the past, there's always, particularly when there's crowds, it's particularly difficult but enjoyable place to come and play. I think they have obviously had a lot of domestic success, and they always that always reflects when you come and play Ireland out here. So it is an opportunity, and it is one to for us to get in our teeth into, to, like you say, get a much needed result.
Thank you.
Alan, finally.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Can now, James, yes.
Sorry, I had this setting on. Never mind. Alan, finally from me, you're talking about the rest. Are they wide, Mark, there? And wide is this group?
James, sorry, mate, we literally can't hear a word you're saying this end. Apologies. We'll leave it there, everyone. Thank you.
Sorry.